Hi everyone and welcome to episode 30 of Double Cross Anime. So this week we're gonna start with the new shows of the new seasons, and those are episode 2 of Karakuri Circus, episode 2 and 3 of everything else including Irozuku Sekai no Ashitakara, which is Irozuku the worst in colors, uh, 2 and 3 of Kazega Shuyoku Futeru, which is Run with the Wind, and 2 and 3 of Zombieland Saga. I'm Mario.
And I'm Wooper.
So after that, we're gonna do the volume 7 of High Score Girl and episode 7 and 8 of Lain.
Busy day today.
Gonna be busy day. But before we start, I'm gonna talk about something interesting.
Oh, this is a surprise.
Wooper, remember last year when I told you about I'm attending some of the running event.
A running event?
Yeah, a running event.
I think I remember you mentioning that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a running event in my locals. It's like 5Ks. And I did it like in half an hour, like 34 minutes and 47 as a check.
Is that good or bad?
That bad because just watching on the last episode of Run with the Wind, they said like the timing that they aim to for the 5 kilometers is like 14 minutes and 30, so like half of my time.
Yeah, but that's for like veteran runners, like people who train for years and years.
Yeah, well, I'm not even doing that well, you know. Like I'm 34 minutes.
Has Run with the Wind inspired you to start training really hard and get that time down?
I will try. That's all I can say.
Because Lenlo started boxing.
You know the reason I bring that up is that event it started today on this year.
Oh, are you gonna participate?
No. And you know the name of that event?
Was it the
Can you
same?
guess?
Was it something like Ekiden or whatever it's called in the anime that we're watching?
It's called Run with the Wind.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So let's start with the show.
Okay. That was an elaborate segue.
That's a long way to introduce a new shows.
It works for me. So
All right,
episodes 2 and 3. Did you like them?
It's alright. We have like a very huge pushover guys. A guy who like manipulate everyone into participate in the team.
Yeah, Haiji. I would say everyone else is the pushover. That's right. He's like the puppet master.
Yeah, that's right. And for his hijinks, I kind of I kind of get warm into him, but I just can't really get the reason behind why he have to wait for like 4 years in order just to form like an amateur team of 10 people instead of like just run a proper running club.
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, it's kind of silly the way that the show and probably by extension the source novel goes about like constructing the team. Because the place where they're living, what is it called? I have it here in my notes somewhere. It starts with an A.
I don't have that on my note.
Oh, Aotake. That's the name of the dorm, I guess, where they're all living. Yeah. And it's supposed to be like a training house for all the members of the team.
Yep.
So I guess that's why he's got 10 people now, and he wants to run the race. As for why he doesn't just like at his local university, why he doesn't say, let's
form a team.
Yeah, form a team, like construct a booth, and because we saw in episode 2 like the scene where he's talking to the twins as they're walking around looking for a club to join, and he bribes them with like the promise of beautiful women being interested in them if they run this race.
Yep.
Why he doesn't just get one of those booths and make a team of 10 people, I don't really know. I mean, think about how hesitant everyone is to join this club.
That's right, and how every other members like not the 10 of them, but like how others characters just keep mentioning that like he keep Haiji keep like building up this dream for like 4 years in
Yeah,
order
all the
to
other people in like the shopping area, the shopping district, they all know him.
That's right, and that's always bugged me, like he how he just formed like a normal team, like like people really willing to do that.
Well, that's
and
what
even,
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Given how hesitant everyone else on his team, or of these 10 guys, like none of them want to do it, So it might be just as difficult if you just campaigned or advertised or something like that. Maybe you would get nobody who's interested.
Yeah. And even like many guys, many guys within the team, they're not exactly the kind to run.
Well, a lot of them do have athletic experience.
Yeah,
actually.
but I'm talking about Prince.
Oh yeah.
But like it's kind of a challenge for him as well. So I'm really glad that he like he managed to finish the 5 kilometer run, walking, even if he walk, even if he can't even chase down the butterfly.
Right.
I'm still cheering for him.
Yeah, me too. I actually have an idea for the thumbnail for this video.
Yeah.
Which I guess if you're listening, you're seeing it right now.
Right.
And it features Prince, like looking haggard and like he's about to fall over and die.
Right. Yeah, but apart from that, everything else was fine for me. Like all these characters have their personality. Each of them will have they have like some hesitation, but like later on they all come to to form a team to actually really do it.
I don't know. I think even after episode 3, some of them are still on the fence. I get what you're saying. It's definitely true that most of them are on board, especially since he got
twins.
the twins for sure. It's because he got what's her name, Hana-chan, the high school girl. He got her to like just help out, be the manager kind of for the quote unquote club.
Yep.
Because I'm stuck in high school anime mode. So because of her presence, some of them are on board now. But Yuki, the lawyer guy who likes to go clubbing, I feel like he and Kakeru are both still not totally sold. They're participating in the runs and stuff, but I get the feeling that there's still more work to be done on the show's part to like bring them into the fold with everybody else.
Yep. Well, that to be expected though, because I think the show it would be unrealistic for like all of them to be converted into like like we have to run mode. So yeah, some of them have to bail out. Right. So I'm glad that like some of them still like still very hesitant to participate in this. But for Kakeru, he have a problem. So I think it have to do with some of his experience now in high school.
Yeah, it looked like it. We have the flashback to him in his green tracksuit, and his what looks like his coach is yelling at one of his teammates. And then he says to Haiji, when they're on campus together, he says, "If I want to run, I'll run alone." He's not interested in treating it as a team sport because of, like you said, some stuff in his past, some negative experiences that he's been through. But of course, this is a show where it's all about like male camaraderie, I guess, and learning to really love something and dedicate your life to it and find purpose.
Even the power of teamwork.
Of course.
So they have to
this is anime.
Yeah, this is anime. But yeah, there's a guy who apparently recognized him. I guess that would be his teammate, his ex-teammate.
Maybe. You're talking about the red-haired guy at the end of episode 3.
That's right.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
He could have been a former teammate. He probably was, but there's also the possibility that he was just a rival, like on a different team, perhaps one that he lost to, like he experienced some bitter defeat against this other guy's school or team. But yeah, I do think it's likely that he that he was probably a former teammate, and then like Kakeru quit the team because he couldn't handle the atmosphere in the club.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that's my guess.
Yeah, but I don't like the way the show portray that guys.
Well, we've only seen him for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, but he already looked maniac.
Oh yeah.
he already looked like the guy that we would love to hate. So I don't really like the way that the show trying to manipulate their feeling to us about the characters.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know what you mean, but this is still anime, you know.
Yeah.
The character introductions and the designs are a little heightened, a little exaggerated.
Well, but the source is from the action novel, so I would love it to be different, a bit different from your like normal anime.
I think it already is.
Mm-hmm.
In the way that it
set in college.
Well, it's set in college, yeah, and I do appreciate that. I can't deny it. But the way that its characters talk to one another and bounce off each other. Like if you take for example Bunny Girl from this season, the way that the two main characters talk to each other is like extremely anime.
Yeah.
Whereas in this show it's a little more natural. Like I think it strives for naturalism, while at the same time sometimes like switching into goofier hijinks mode.
Yeah. So for the last 2 episodes, we see how Haiji come to get everyone together to run, and how he try to get them just to run, just to practice, to get the feel of the running.
Yeah, I liked all those scenes. The show's still looking good.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So the next part would be, they have to run with the time limit. So that would be a great challenge for some of them.
For one of them in particular.
For most of them, yeah. For everyone, but Kakeru.
Right. Yeah, I really do like a lot of small details about this show. For example, when Haiji is trying to convince everyone to run for the first time, like in the morning, he says to them, "I really want you to watch the way this guy runs," when he's talking about Kakeru.
Yep.
And so the fact that line is phrased that way, and then the show follows up on it by animating him taking like really long strides, and kind of having a bounce and a rhythm to his movement. There's there's a link between what the characters are saying and what we're actually seeing on screen. Which is hard to do, because animation is so freaking difficult. And then there's all like the little details. I think we talked about this last week, but there's all the little details about Aotake, the place where they live. Like, remember the breakfast scene in episode 2? Where there's the bigger table where everyone's sitting, and then there's that smaller circle table that's like on the ground, and you have to sit there if you're late to breakfast.
Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of gives the feeling of like limited space, kind of a cramped feeling to where they're living, which makes sense because there's 10 guys and it's a college dorm. And then you have like the little the chart of chores on the wall. And at one point there's a complaint like, don't hit the futons, you're spreading mites everywhere.
Yep.
That's just all those small little things makes the show feel lived in.
Yeah,
which I like.
How you feel about Haiji as a character so far?
I do not feel the same way that a lot of other people do. Based on my travels around the internet, a lot of people seem to think that he's like, manipulative. I mean, it's definitely true that he is like
True.
He's making food for them, and he's recruited like this 16 or 17-year-old girl or something to be their cheerleader essentially. And he promises the one guy that it'll look good on his resume. He threatens to evict Prince, like kick him out. And he does the bathhouse challenge with Kakeru at the end of episode 2. It's true that he's manipulating and strong-arming and bribing and deceiving people. That's all true. But I don't feel... I mean, I think he's charismatic enough that I want to keep watching. You know, I don't view him as like a real bastard,
No.
because I don't know, he does seem to be very passionate, and he also, I think, is doing this from a place of wanting them all to work together, not just for himself but for everybody.
Yep.
But I mean, his methods are definitely questionable.
Yep. And it's on just an introductions. I feel like they're gonna be like another episodes or two until they got some kind of, you know, like a tournaments. I would think that they will have like some tournaments before the actual one.
Well, there's a qualifier for the Ekiden, and then there's the Ekiden itself.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So I think that's gonna be take like few more episodes until we get into that, the qualified.
Yeah, probably. We still have to run with the timer, like you said. That'll be like the next, hurdle to clear for all the guys at Aotake.
Yep. And then yet other guys like Kakeru and Yuki really committed to the team, and yet like the prince, you know, like getting better at running.
Yeah.
So like
condition that guy a little bit.
Yeah, I just pull him. The only thing that I can say.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, why wouldn't you, if you had somebody on your team who was so bad, why wouldn't you aggressively try to find another resident? Right. You know. Well, but that's the thing. Haiji is not like super concerned about their performance or their time. He just wants all of them to do this together. Which is part of why I enjoy his character.
And I think some of the character, especially Nico, the guy who smoke.
Yeah, he cool.
Understand that. Yeah, I think he understand that. So that's why he tried to talk to Kakeru, and he's the one who close it to Yuki as well. So he might be the one who talk those guys into the team again.
Yeah, perhaps. He's already done a little bit of that.
Yep.
And he practiced running on his own. In that scene where Yuki looks into like his little locker and sees his running shoes.
Yep. Right. All right. Because we're running out of time.
Yeah, we sure
so
are.
let's get into the next show. Which one do you like to do next?
The next one I have on my notes underneath Run with the Wind is Zombieland Saga. You can do that one.
All right, let's do that. Yep. So episode 2 and 3. Episode 2 we have like the idol team doing rap.
Yeah.
And in episode 3 they do the gorillas performance.
Right. I definitely preferred episode 2 by far.
Me too. Well, I still enjoy the episode 3 except for the CG dance.
I mean, that was a third of the episode.
Oh, yeah, which I think that's just cheapened the show a whole lot.
Yeah. I would be more okay with it if I think we talked about this last week as well. That might be a theme of this episode, is restating stuff we said last week with the first impressions. But last week, I was worried about, like, I was afraid that the parody aspect of the show wouldn't be present at all times. Mm-hmm. And I think if it were, then a CG, a CG idol song and dance scene would be okay, because then there's the added element of, this is all, they're just lampooning this sort of genre.
Yep.
But it really didn't feel like that in episode 3. It was pretty earnest and straightforward.
Yeah, that's right. It's like a normal idol show that we watch.
Yeah, although I will say that I still got some enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, I actually come to enjoy those zombie girls. I like many of the chemistries between them. Some of them though, like the two idols, the two who used to be an idols, I can't tell them apart.
Ai-chan and Junko-chan.
That's right. I still can't tell them apart because they have like exactly the same personalities.
That's true. They do. Although all 7 girls have different hair colors.
Yeah.
So well, telling them apart on a physical, like visual level, you can always just say what color their hair is.
Oh, what another thing that interesting me is like the name that they come up with of the band.
Franchuchu.
Franchuchu, which is from the girl, from the little girl named Lily. and I just happened to watch a movie named All About Lily Choo Choo, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
his,
I know about that film. I haven't seen it, but I actually
yeah,
have it downloaded.
yeah. So she actually was a fictional singer. So I don't really know if they make some kind of connections between that, or they try to parodize that. But yeah, but
Maybe.
that's just interesting.
Isn't that film about a girl who like joins a band?
No, that film about like
Oh, oops.
an idols, a fictional, like an idols, but she fictional, she not real. But like every single students kind of affected to her music, and that film is about those students, not about her. We don't see her at all in the
Huh.
movies. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, if it's exactly the same name, then it's probably intentional.
Yeah. I just don't know to what extent.
Right. It might just be a shout out.
And how do you think about Kotaro,
Who is that?
the manager guy?
Oh, I hate him so much.
He's a loudmouth. He's supposed to be loud.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like Okabe in Steins Gate either. I hated his personality and his voice. And it's the same guy, right?
That's the same guys. That's the same voice guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I still don't hate him that much, but he's a bit annoying at times.
I think that what you do with his character is you cut his all the time that he spends doing his little antics on screen. You cut that in half, and
Yeah.
you give the remaining time to the backstory for one girl every week.
I think we
Go ahead.
yeah. Well, because I think we probably will get to know more about their backstories as the show goes on. But on the other hand, because they're zombie, they don't really remember what their past is.
I thought it was
So
only
not re-
Sakura who doesn't remember, the main girl.
Really? Yeah. She definitely doesn't remember her past. But I
But
don't know for everyone else.
the other girl, like Saki-chan, for example, the delinquent with like the blonde ponytail,
Yep.
she still remembers that she was in a biker gang. And the courtesan character still remembers that she was like a high class, I don't
Yeah.
know, what do you call them? Call girl, whatever the
Uh,
period
geisha.
appropriate. Geisha, yeah.
Hmm. Yep.
She still remembers that that's who she was, and I think the rest of them might still have their memories, although I could be wrong.
Mhm. And still a question mark is Tae-chan, the girl who still haven't
Oh yeah,
waken up yet.
yeah.
And
She'll probably be like that for the whole show, which I think is good.
no, well, I think like for the next few episodes, I think the next episode or two, she will come back to life.
Why? Why do you think that?
Just because I think the show will get her back, and
Man,
I think
I don't want to see that.
I think she be the most kick-ass girl out of everyone.
No.
All
She
right.
needs to stay. She needs to stay a zombie. That's the point of her character. I think. Like that's the gag.
but I can still I can still get the fact why she a zombie and she can dance like flawlessly, but all the girls in this episode 3.
She can't dance flawlessly. She's always like moving really slowly whenever they do their dance numbers.
Yeah, but she doesn't have any like concerts. How could she do the routine?
She won't. I think that's the point. Like it's a comedy, so I think that's the idea is that she's just like the slapstick physical comedy type of character.
All right.
We'll see. But I don't think she's gonna. Maybe in the last episode or the second to last episode or something, she'll wake up and that'll get all the girls to like rally around her and come back from their time of crisis.
Yeah. All right. So for episode 2, I think I really enjoyed that episode. I think it's a smart move that the show went into rap, and the rap, while not that good, it's still very appropriate to the narrative.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's just yeah, it's cool. Basically, it's cool.
Sure is. She even slammed the microphone on the ground when she was done.
Yeah, that's right. I love that moment.
Yeah, me too.
True. But episode 3, yeah, it bugged out. It bugged out pretty much by the CG dance, and
Yeah.
even the dance is not that memorable to begin with. The only thing that I like about that performance is like the girl. That's one of the little girl who really affected to their dance, and
Oh, in the crowd, yeah.
on the crowd, yeah, and I just think that maybe that's just enough. Like there's still someone who appreciate them for what they're doing. Even if it's like just a girl and she might forget about the whole thing like 20 minutes later, she still appreciate when they doing the dance.
Yeah, but that ties into the whole thing where the show, for me, it gets like too earnest and too sincere in those sorts of moments where, like, everybody else walks away because they're just totally cynical. They're not feeling it. They don't like the gorilla performance, and then the one they're doing it for the kids, man. They're doing it for the little girl. It's all for the fans.
Yeah,
I don't know.
right.
That just feels very calculated.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, compared to that, the first episodes where everything is just, like slam into your face with all the, all the jokes. Pretty much the episode 3 is like a letdown, but hopefully they still, maintain on the satire of the idols aspect, even the zombie aspect. I actually really like the way that instead of answering all the girls' questions, that guy Kotaru just showed them the movies about how normal people just like kick, just splash, just kick all the brains of the zombies.
Right.
And he just said like that's how normal people treat zombie in real life.
It is indeed. I guess. I mean, I've never met a zombie, so I can't say what I would do in that situation.
You maybe you would be like the police guy.
He's shown up in every episode so far. I wonder if he'll be in every single one. He probably will.
He probably will. He'll probably be a recurring characters.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not mad about that. He's a cool guy.
All right. Anything else you have on the notes about the shows?
No, I took very few for the series.
All right. So you say that you still enjoy some aspect of it, but you don't like the whole thing is selling.
I'm fine with it. It's all right.
Entertaining.
Sometimes I think episode 2 is pretty entertaining.
Yep.
Certainly, it's not so bad like Grand Blue. Like, it's not so dumb that I feel the need to stop watching.
Yep.
At least not yet.
All right, the next one I haven't watched the preview yet, but so I don't know what they're gonna do on the next one. Did you watch the preview for the next episodes?
I didn't, but I hope it's a different genre. I hope they keep hopping between different genres.
Yeah, well, talking about that, I hope that they keep doing different genre, depend on like the girl. So like there's many girl with like many different style. So hopefully they're gonna do all that.
Right.
So like
the
first episode, the first episode we have like heavy metal. The second one is rap, and the third one is idol, pop.
I kind of feel as though they'll do a lot more idol stuff from now on. But I want to get at least a few more. I mean, what other genres are left?
Oh my god!
They could form there might be one where they do like a band where they actually all play instruments. I'd like to see that.
Right. Remember Yugiri, who used to be a geisha? They maybe do some kind of like traditional Japanese folk as well.
Could be, although that was already incorporated into the hip hop battle in episode 2, where she played the shamisen while they were rapping back and forth.
Right, but I hope hopefully they will do that. They will make that a central stage.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, as long anything to cut down on the number of like CG dance scenes.
and Kotaro just like doing his old loud
Go 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 go
voice.
go 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 go.
Yeah, right. All right.
Next.
Karakuri Circus.
Sure.
All right.
Episode 2.
Yep. What do you think about the episode 2?
I feel the same way about it that I did about the first, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
It feels pretty shonen.
Yep.
Though I do think there's one difference between this show and a lot of other shonen series, which is that in the traditional like young male character wants to become the world's greatest fighter type of shonen series.
Yep.
Your One Pieces, your Narutos, etc., your Dragon Balls. It starts with somebody who's like really low on the totem pole, who's not very powerful, and over time they become stronger and acquire new skills until eventually they're the strongest man in history or something. Yep. In this series, Shirogane and Narumi are already both like really skilled.
Yeah.
And the focus seems to be on them at the moment rather than the kid.
Mm-hmm.
So their development as characters will be more value-based, I feel, rather than strength-based. So Shirogane will learn probably to appreciate her like herself and her own life, her value more, because right now she's in like a servant role, taking care of Masaru, the kid.
Yep.
Whereas Narumi will, I assume, learn, I don't know, maybe he'll learn to appreciate others more.
Mm-hmm.
So because right now we're mostly in his head in the show, like we get a lot of his thoughts as the audience. So maybe he'll learn to appreciate other people more. What else you got?
Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's Shirogane who appreciate the others, because for now she's just thinking about herself, trying to protect the boy. So she have to learn like other people and other people's points of view. That like that could change. That could improve the situations. And for me, I really, what sell me now is like the chemistry between Narumi and Shirogane right now.
Or
it's
lack thereof.
Different because the lack thereof, because they are completely different. They have only one thing that is common, which is they want to protect Masaru Saga. They want to protect the kid. And now when the kid is get out of the pictures, they need to work more in order to like to work together. So they have to work more in order to like to be effective together.
Right.
So
which we're gonna see in the next episode, I guess.
Yeah,
he gets kidnapped like really near the very end.
Right. And before that, I enjoy on the on the smaller comedic moments. I think the humor pretty much good on the shows.
Okay, I don't think I agree, but that's a very personal thing,
All right.
A lot of anime humor just like flies over my head, or maybe under my head. I don't know. All the wacky faces and stuff. I do think that there's some great facial expressions in this show.
Yep.
But his need to make people laugh as part of his medical condition, that's explained more in this episode. Like all the crazy stuff he does in the convenience store and all that. And him like walking in as she's helping the kid bathe, and like I don't know. I don't really need to see that,
All right. The bit that worked for me is the bit that tell me how different between him and Shirogane. So like whenever they clash about something, they just don't see eye to eyes. It works, and it works because it's hilarious as well. I like you. I don't appreciate all the scene regarding like they take he see her taking bath, he see her in the nude, all this guy even when he in the supermarket trying to make people laugh, it start to wear things.
Yeah, a little
because
bit.
yeah, because the first episode they actually wait for a great length to show that, so we don't need to see like more of that.
Well, the thing is that it is like part of his life, something he struggles with on a daily and like hourly basis.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
we're
Yes,
probably going to see more of it. You know, I don't know if it's something that
that
Karakuri Circus intends for him to work past, or if it's just going to be something he struggles with the entire time.
hold on. I think that actually a great shot for the interaction between him and Shirogane, because Shirogane had to laugh
Right.
in order to make him alive. So in order for him to alive, she had to to work for herself as well. So that's something we can kind of expect for the next few episodes.
Yeah, that if it, like there will be a turning point of sorts when he's finally able to make her laugh.
Yeah, because she had to trust him in order to to really kind of let herself go.
Yeah, and I mean her trust in him will be earned when he pulls his weight in rescuing Masaru.
That's right. Yes.
Which is what Ario or whatever that guy's name is. That's what he set us up for when he at the end of episode 2 he pretty much explains the plot of the series.
This is, but I just found out that this series have like the source manga have like 30 something volumes.
Oh yeah, it's massive.
And this anime are gonna be like 36 episodes.
But they're not adapting the whole thing. The mangaka is like on staff with the show, advising them on what to include and what to cut. They did it the same way with Ushio and Tora, which is written by the same guy.
All right. So
there are going to be entire arcs that are not shown, but the author of the source material is picking and choosing what stays in, what gets left out.
Yep. So I pretty much think that we come to the next the first act right now, the first big act right now, and it's my last for probably 6-7 episodes.
Oh, you
like
think?
Half of?
Think so?
I think so. I don't think it's gonna last long. This act, or maybe it's just the whole core. So like the first core.
I don't think it's even. I think it's going to be like over in 2 or 3 episodes. Probably 2, honestly.
All right, that's
short. There actually hasn't been a big focus on combat so far, and I know that's liable to change. This being like a combat heavy series in all likelihood, but like the fight at the start was pretty quickly. Like Shirogane is so skilled that she just dominates Ashihana or Ario, however you want to talk, whatever name you want to use.
Yeah, that's right. Because I was expecting that fight will be spectacular in order for us to see like all the appeal of the up on the puppet fight, but turn out it's just like really quickly. It's just really overwhelming.
Yeah, well, I was okay with that. I was kind of surprised and pleased by that because it establishes Shirogane as like a very competent character. But now she and Narumi are going to be put to the test. Now that we're entering this arc, like you said.
Yep. So far so good. So far the first 2 episodes is just like the introductions. So the next one, when we get into the main show, we or not. What do you mean? They might miss some kind of like characters in the middle, and like maybe adopt them. They go around the ride as well. I don't know how. That usually how shonen work as well.
Yeah, but this one is a little different, and Ushio and Tora was too. I didn't finish it, but that's it was pretty different from like the Shonen Jump model of the last decade.
Hopefully they get straight to the point. I don't want they just go along, like picking up some more friends, some more allies.
Yeah, well, with 36 episodes in which to cover 36 volumes, minus arcs here and there, it'll probably keep a pretty brisk pace.
Yep, hopefully. So yeah, so far I still enjoy the shows.
Yeah, me too.
Hopefully there's more interactions. There's more of the great interaction between the main characters and more fight.
I just
love
want
to see all
Shirogane
the
to
fight.
take off that ridiculous pepperoni bodysuit.
Oh, I actually like that suit. It's make her sexy in a way.
No, it's weird, dude. And the fact that characters
I
comment on how beautiful she looks in it so often is extremely like it just distracts me.
uh, alright, you know what? She looked more sexy in that suit more than she was in the nude when she taking a shower.
I I'm not really gonna draw. I'm not gonna draw a comparison between those two versions of her. I'm not prepared to do that. I just don't like the suit very much. But it's eye catching. She stands out.
But yeah, but actually, I prefer in this particular case, I prefer the guy more than that girl. I prefer Narumi. I like his characters so far.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah. All right. You have any other things on your notes?
Nope.
All right. Let's get to the last show then. Irozuku Sekai no Ashitakara.
You just want to call this show like The World in Color?
No, or even Irozuku. Which one do you like to?
Yeah, I guess Irozuku. And some people call it Iroduku, like there's some sort of localization or confusion about which one it is. I don't know.
I prefer to call that Irozuku.
Okay, let's do that.
Yep. So episode 2 and 3, we have Hitomi getting into the new school.
Yep, making new friends, joining a club.
That's right. That's the whole premise.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, what do you think about the show so far?
It's all right. I'm kind of lukewarm on it, honestly. After being so impressed with the first episode, little bit let down.
Yeah, well, it's still very very gorgeous though.
Yeah. I suppose that's true, but there wasn't any big,
Moment.
Take the scene at the end of episode 2, for instance. That's the one where she's talking to Aoi on the roof of the school.
Yep.
And she because she showed him some magic earlier in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
He shows her the thingy, his tablet that he does the drawings on. Yeah, and in that scene, all we get is like the wind starts to blow. Her hair starts to blow in the wind, and we get a shot of the clouds and the sky and stuff. But we don't actually see the drawing. We just see her reaction to it, which is just like to smile.
Yeah.
Where's the big fish soaring through the sky and creating a rainbow and like puppies exploding everywhere out of every corner of the screen? Where's that?
Alright, I think it's supposed to be understated because I think the point is what comes later. What he said to her. The point is he wanted her to show him magic again. Sometimes, some other days.
Right.
And that pump her up because she's the kind of character who used to despise her magic. So now she want to do the magic again. I actually like the very last moment of the episode 2 where the photography president show saw her trying to do some magic in the room. Right. It's understated, but it's actually say a lot to her characters.
Yeah,
so I like it.
She's doing it for. I mean, at this point, it's not really for her to reconnect with that part of herself or her heritage. It's more about wanting to please Aoi, because he's praised her, and so she's like, oh well, I'm gonna practice.
Well, when you frame it like that, it sounds really bad of her characters. It just like, well, I frame it this way. It's just like someone actually appreciate her magic, so that she kind of feel, like appreciation. She kind of feel like like someone actually care about that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. I didn't mean to make her sound so shallow. But I guess what I mean is, what do I mean?
She a cardboard characters.
No.
She had no personality.
Well, it's true that her personality. Actually, I think that the moment where he says, "I want to see your magic again,"
Yeah.
and then she walks out the door and like into the hallway and kind of leans back against the wall. And I think I think that's when she smiles for maybe the first time in 2 episodes. I can't remember exactly, but I don't mean that like she's gonna get good at magic. She's gonna practice so that she can hook this guy. What I mean is that he he like praised her and kind of reinforced that part of herself because she comes from a magical family but feels disconnected from that aspect of her own personality and upbringing. So he by encouraging her to do magic again, she is like that part of her is reinforced. That's why she's practicing.
Yep.
And also like that scene that you were talking about with the redheaded or orange-headed, whatever, like the club president looking in on her while she's doing that. I think that sets up a love triangle because this is a PA Works high school club series.
All right, but when I look at episode 3, I actually see many of the pairs. That the show trying to show us.
Yep.
So we got like the club president. His name is Sho, and one of the girl who not wear glasses.
Yeah.
Which is her name is Chigusha.
Okay.
And we got the girl with the glass, Kurumi.
Yeah, she likes Aoi's coworker because they work together at the family restaurant.
That's right, which is her Kohan as well. Which is the young guy as well. Yeah. The underclassman as well. Yes.
Yeah, the first year, who used to be like the newest member, but not anymore.
That's right. So actually, they do set up all of the pairs, which I don't really like that. That is extremely PA work, by the way.
Yeah, it is for sure. But I do think that there's potential for like a love triangle or like a love square. Well, actually, I don't know because the grandmother is coming back. We see at the end of episode 3, she's like on the cruise ship and she's coming back. So you speculated earlier that Aoi might be Hitomi's grandfather.
Maybe we're not sure about that yet because for the fact that Hitomi doesn't recognize him, so I think he must be someone who died pretty young.
Oh.
So I think that might be the reason why she was sent back at this point of time, but we don't know any of that for sure.
Okay. Interesting.
So, yeah, which I think the time where Koharu get back now is like the right time, because now is the time where Hitomi, like settle down with her new life now, and we need some kind of a push. And from what we see about her characters, I think Kohaku is like the big push. Hopefully she will be kind of Haruhi, a new Haruhi. I just settle for that.
I don't want her to be Haruhi.
All right.
That's a little too much.
Too much.
Yeah.
Right.
Haruhi's great and all.
But
if she would stay in her own show, that would be awesome.
Yeah, well, that comes to preference, I think.
I guess so.
Let's see how she behave, because I think she gonna be the kind of characters who like try to push Hitomi out of her comfort zones.
Yeah, probably. I mean, we've seen the damage that she's done to the school by flying a broom like through the ceiling and all breaking windows and all that stuff. I mean, what's her face? Hitomi had to sign a waiver when she got signed up for the school, just because she was related to what's her name? Koharu.
Kohaku. That's what I get. Kohaku.
Okay. Yeah, just because they're from the same family and they're both mages. she had to sign a document saying, "I'm not going to break anything."
Promise. So yeah, so far so good. It's a bit slow for like
I mean,
3 episodes, and we only get into that point.
I don't think the tempo of the series is really the issue. I would expect another show like this to also, take a little time in bringing its depressed main character into like a high school club setting with a bunch of friends. What there are some scenes to me that have the wrong tone to them. For example, the scene in the hallway in episode 2 when she's about to do magic. If everyone was so scared of her and so resistant to her being in their class, like that the one guy was hesitant to share a textbook with her and scoot their desks closer together, and everyone else, she introduces herself and everyone immediately starts gossiping in like a very loud whisper, like they do in every anime. So everybody's like, kind of on edge around her because she's a mage, right? But then when it's time for her to do magic in the hallway, everybody's like, she's gonna do magic, and they all gather around and have their phones out and stuff.
Yeah, because they are curious. Everyone is curious.
Yeah, but I don't think that really gels with their reaction to her when she's first introduced in the classroom. And then there's in that scene, there's also some characters who are like talking about Aoi and how he's that depressing guy who only really cares about art. Somebody just casually mentions that during that scene, like that little bit of characterization is just dumped into our lap. Like, oh, you want to know more about Aoi? Here you go.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I didn't really appreciate that scene. And like the scene where they're cleaning the pool near the end of episode 3, everyone is so positive in that scene. Like everybody is so amped up for Hitomi to join the club. Like they're desperately not trying to scare her away. They're all like plotting how to get her to be their friend and like high-fiving each other and hugging her when she agrees to be in the club. It's like the show's just relentlessly sugary sometimes.
Yep.
So those are some of my issues.
Agree with that as well.
Like none of these 5 people find her like weird or creepy or off-putting. That doesn't make any sense. They're teenagers. They should they should feel that way. At least some of them.
Well, I don't feel Hitomi as weird or off-putting or anything, but I come to really warming up with her as well since the episode 1. But then like her action after the pulling event, that she tried to run away from other members.
Right.
It just kind of like putting me off.
Right. What, just how like shy she is and how embarrassed?
How she doesn't make any sense.
Wait, why does that not make sense?
Why she have to do that? Why she have to run away? Why she just
Because she's embarrassed because she's colorblind and she picked the wrong vial and everybody knows and she's trying to keep that secret.
Why? All right. I just don't get it then.
Like she feels embarrassed. She doesn't want to look any of them in the eye or talk to them because she feels as though she'll be rejected.
Yep. All right.
I think that makes sense.
All right. But that pulley scene speak to how she does have like a magic power. I think she have like a powerful magic as well.
You're talking about the scene where she actually does walk on water even though she took the wrong potion.
Walk on water. That's right.
Yeah.
But so I think that she has the true magic, but she just have like confident issues.
Yeah.
That's a bit too obvious though, the way the show put that.
I mean, her whole character arc is fairly obvious, right? She was sent back in time so that her personality will be fixed because she's a big wet blanket.
Yeah.
And she's she's sad and doesn't get any joy out of life.
Yeah. Well, I think the whole purpose of her going back how many years, 60 years back in time. It's just because of that time, the present time, they had some doctor who can fix her colorblind. Maybe that's the whole point.
No way. She's gonna be. You're joking, right?
Yeah, I'm joking.
Okay. Yeah, the medicine and technology 60 years ago were so much better.
Yeah. At least now we have two real doctor. I don't know, for like 60 years ago we might not have any doctor anymore.
Yeah, maybe not.
So maybe that's why.
Makes about as much sense as anything else in this show.
So yeah, next week we have Kohaku. Basically coming into screen for the first time, make her first appearance.
Yep.
So let's see how she fit into everything else. But I expect her to be the one who pull up all the strings.
What do you mean?
Oh, so she the guy who make like all the new events now. So she the guy who
she kind of pushes the show forward.
Yeah, that's right.
Story.
That's right.
Yeah, probably so.
So I also want to see like her relationship with Aoi, to see if they have any kind of intimate relationship or not.
Yeah, or if they don't right away, then one might develop. It might be some weird love triangle between a woman, her grandmother, and her and her grandfather,
and the boy. Yeah, I don't know when. All right. So, do you have anything else to talk about these shows?
No, I don't think so. Just that I'm not as enthralled with it as I was originally. But
yeah,
there's big development coming up in the next episode. New character, hitting the stage. So, still plenty to look forward to, I think.
Right. All right. So let's get to High School Girl Volume 7.
Let's do it.
Which only 5 chapters.
Yeah, but one of them is like
chapters.
mega long. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chapter 41 in particular, that's like 50 pages.
Yep. Which is about... I can't recall it on the top of my head.
Okay. It's the one where Haruo and Miao, they're like going to go back to his house. You know.
So like the first time the 5 of them actually in together in the room.
Yeah.
I mean,
saying five of them kind of makes Miao and what's her face, Makoto.
Makoto.
It makes them seem more important and relevant than they actually are.
Yeah, well, it actually the first time that 3 of them are on the same room, right?
I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. Probably not. We've been through like 40 chapters. In like his room, his bedroom, or bedroom.
Like,
yes.
No, I mean like, is it the first time that the 3 of them together in one scenes?
I don't think it's the first time for that. There's probably been another time, right?
I don't think so. Like looking at it now, because the time where Hidaka meets Ono-san, they don't have many time together.
But haven't there been scenes where like Haruo is at the arcade with Ono and Hidaka's there and she's just watching and she's like, wow, Ono is so... Well, maybe not. Maybe
not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's either like a Haruo with Ono-san or Haruo with Hidaka.
Yeah, usually.
And there are only some of the few rare time where Hidaka and Ono talk to each other. Like they talk once before. I think they meet once before that, and that's about it. So like it's basically the first time where the 3 of them together for the first time on screen.
Yeah, I guess so. And my memory is failing if it's happened before.
Well, it's been like 2 months since we first read the manga or more.
Yeah, something like that. It's been 3 weeks since we talked about it.
That's right.
Or a month even.
A month.
Yeah.
A month. That's right. So yeah, well, so
they all go to his house and there, Meow is planning on like talking to Haruo about how how you score chicks, because they're in high school now and that's what they're supposed to be doing. But then he invites Hidaka, I guess, because he feels sorry for her, like he wants to give her another chance or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course Makoto and Ono-san they're there, and then they actually have the video they play. The two girls play in the video game, which was interesting.
Well, first thing though, things got complicated. The atmosphere got very tense. That Meow had to bail out right away.
Yeah.
And even Makoto had to bail out. I just like her expressions. She was like, it's too adult. It's too adult for me.
Yeah, that weird face that she makes when she's pretending to be just like a little kid who doesn't understand anything romantic or sexual.
And when she tried to to get the whole of everything, she want to make sense of everything. It's just kind of hilarious.
Yeah, so, sometimes I feel as though the manga goes a little bit too far in providing commentary from Makoto or Meow, but I think in this scene it worked pretty well because it was a very big moment. What?
Yeah, there wasn't the big moment though. Like we would expect some kind of like the fight between them, but it doesn't actually a fight.
Oh, I wasn't expecting a fight. I mean, we might get a fight after what happened at the end of chapter 45, but I was gonna tie it back to the fact that you said it was the first time the three of them were in the same room. That in itself, I think, is a big moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the commentary from the side characters works a little better because of how significant it is.
Yep. I think I feel the same way because the first time when I read the this chapter, I had to take the screenshot where the three of them together, because for me it's like the very first time that they are together.
Right, and then Ono beats Hidaka at the game with a handicap.
Yeah,
she uses like the inferior controller.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a gigantic statement.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like back off, essentially. She asserts her dominance.
Yep. I also like the way that Hidaka just tell Onos that we should play again sometime. Next time I will beat you. And Makoto was like, what did you say? Beat Onos on what? That's just so amusing.
When I first read chapter 41 and she said, I'm starting to believe, like, when she said, this isn't about Haruo anymore, I just want to beat you, like, as a gamer, I was starting to believe her. I was like, oh, man, this might be the way that they move with her character. It's like, as Haruo and Ono get closer together, she is going to become a better and better gamer. Like, that'll be her thing. And eventually she'll beat Ono-san. She'll become the better Street Fighter 2 player, or Street Fighter Alpha Plus Delta 2, or whatever edition of the game it is now. But then Ono will get the guy. I thought maybe that's what will happen, but as the volume went on, that definitely was not the case.
Yeah, well, that would be interesting if that was the case, though. I pretty want Hidaka to be really, really good at games. Oh, she's already good at games, but she's not. Well, she's still on the same level of the other two, but she's still like a third wheel.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the fact that she really appreciates video games now and has integrated them into her life in a way that extends beyond just trying to get Haruo's attention, that's nice. So it would be, maybe it'll be a good thing for her character to get like more and more into them, and for that to kind of become her character arc. But at the same time, I would just like her to find some measure of happiness and like self-acceptance in general. It doesn't matter if it has to do with video games or not. I just want her to like chill out and like, not be so anxious and not be so caught up on a guy that she can't have, just to be at peace with herself.
Yeah, well, that's something that I think we forgot to mention the last time when she have a battle with Haruo. at the end when she lose, she actually see her old characters, her old game characters, and that was the same way that Haru always see her characters, or sometimes Ono-san see her characters.
Right.
So
like they appear to them.
Yeah, they appear
like give
in
them a
front of
message
theirs.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So that's some kind of a rewarding for Hidaka. That now that she become like a gamer, to that levels.
Yeah, I mean, I think this manga is all about video games, so we're supposed to feel as though if she can see her character now and she's getting better and better at games, and she even in chapter 44, I think.
Yep.
She clean sweeps Haruo's team, including him.
Yep.
But like, I know it's a manga about video games, but at the same time, like I don't really care if she continues playing games. Like I just want her not to be so so like conflicted and tormented.
Yeah, which is what she is now. She really conflicted and tormented.
Yeah.
Which is make her character even more powerful to me.
Yeah, and she's also like developed an edge in terms of like her outward personality. She's kicking people, slapping them,
so
calling people like an eyesore.
When you say that, it's just pupil equal to Haruo. It's just Haruo that she does that to him.
That's true, but other characters are remarking on the fact that her character is not as soft, like her personality is not as soft as it used to be. I think Meow says that. I think the other girl.
But that in regarding how she treated Haruo though, so that's all have to do with Haruo.
I would prefer not to view her character strictly through the lens of how it relates to Haruo. This is a romance story, so that's kind of inevitable, but I do feel as though like a stressful circumstance like that, even if it is tied up in romance, could change your personality just in general. Like maybe her life at home with her parents, maybe she's more disrespectful to them, or maybe she's not doing as well in school. We don't see that, but I kind of feel as though that's the kind of change her character has gone through.
Well, because I mentioned that because I think that's the point for the 5 chapter that we watch, because when she described her feeling to Haruo, what that we see in chapter 45, I kind of think that I understand her feeling uneasy towards Haruo, since when someone reject you in a way, and you just don't act normally to them anymore.
Yeah, of course.
So I kind of understand her feeling, even like her angry feeling towards Haruo, because definitely Haruo just doesn't respect much of, he just doesn't understand all of the effort that Hidaka had been through.
Yeah, but it's not his responsibility to understand.
Yeah, that's right. But she feel frustrating in every possible way regarding to Haruo.
Yeah.
So I kind of understand that. But when she in the store, in the family store, where she described her feeling that she can't control herself in front of Haruo, it makes a whole lot of sense as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it does.
And it just makes her a really sad character.
Yes, I agree completely.
Honest.
Yep.
I know, man. I feel for her like for the first few episodes, but this one hit me as well. It hit me hard as well.
Yeah.
And so she tried, and because I remember I mentioned you the last few podcast as well, that this manga has always been stay away from any like sexual tensions. This is the first time that Hidaka actually used the sexual tension against Haru.
Yeah,
in order to attract him.
Yeah, I think that sex in general is in focus for this entire volume, because the first chapter, 41, is like the opener is Haruo and Meow talking about, you know, how to progress with women. That's the translation that's in, you know, CL scans.
Yep.
And they're planning on going back to his house and talking about it. And Haruo even asks him, like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're saying. And Meow is like, with a crazed look in his eye, he says, heavy petting.
Yep.
You know, so I think I do think that's a theme of this volume. And Hidaka definitely comes on strong in chapter 45, man.
Yep. And I now that reading the chapters again, I think that the reason why she does it the way she does, like desperately, just because of that girl, of that random girl who, you know, want to take Haru virgins.
Yeah, to take his virginity. Yeah.
Yeah. So that actually, you know, like put all her hatred, all her frustration to flame.
Right.
So yeah, that kind of interesting.
Yeah, although it also sets up a situation where, because the first thing during that crew battle, Hidaka overhears the girl saying that she's, you know, Haruo's the kind of guy where all you have to do is like take off your clothes and push him on the bed and he'll just fold, you know.
Yep.
You can have your way with them.
Yep.
So she overhears that and then tells she bluffs and tells the girl, like, stay away from my boyfriend. So of course then people start gossiping about that, and then of course Ono is within earshot when they're talking about it. So then she's like prowling around the city, and of course the moment when Hidaka finally puts the moves on Haruo, she's like right there.
She'll be there. Yeah, that's
like the kind of romance that a middle schooler would write.
That's right. That's nothing original to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad about it or anything. Like, but it did make me laugh. I started laughing when Ono was there.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be a big dramatic moment, and I just started giggling.
Man, we all see that coming, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, kind of. I didn't really see it coming, honestly. But when it happened, I immediately like just started laughing in recognition.
Oh God! So yes, any guess about what gonna happen in chapter volume 8?
Well, the thing is that volume 8 is not totally translated.
Yep.
And you recommended that I not read the chapters that have been translated without the full thing because it's like it would be a cliffhanger.
That's right.
So I'm not sure that I even want to guess. You know.
That's right. So let's just stop it right here.
Yeah, we only need 2 more chapters to be translated, and then the volume will be done. So once that happens, I guess we'll cover it.
Yep. So far, how have you been? How do you think about High School Girl?
It's interesting the way that my affection for different characters has changed over time. Because at first, like I wasn't really that into Ono's character. You know, she doesn't talk. She just communicates by like nodding her head and headbutting Haruo and all that. And, you know, then in the last volume, they really did a lot of great work with her character. A lot of it being down to the efforts of her sister. And now Hidaka, like my girl, she has slowly, like her heart is over time has become hardened. You know, and so now I like her a little bit less.
Oh my God, no! I like her even more, man.
I don't know, like the
you go on Ono-san team. I'm on Hidaka team. I'm always on Hidaka team.
I wouldn't say that I'm on any team. You know, like I'm not gonna hashtag my loyalty to one fictional female character or another. But the way that she went after Haruo in the last 2 chapters, it didn't rub me the wrong way or anything. Like I totally understand where she's coming from. But I at the same time, like as it was happening, I didn't really want her to succeed. I wasn't like, you know, Haruo, just give in and go to a love hotel. You know, that wasn't my mindset. I want Haruo to make up his own mind, and the thing that I want for her most of all is not to succeed and like quote unquote win and get together with Haruo, but like I said earlier, for her to find happiness in one way or another.
Yeah. Well, we will all see that scene desperate.
Oh yeah.
And that's just sad because like with all the desperations. Sometimes I do feel like Haruo doesn't deserve that.
Well, yeah. I mean,
all the attentions.
The manga is written in such a way that I think you're supposed to kind of feel that, because he's just some dumb first year high school kid. He doesn't know anything about girls. He has like no social skills.
Yeah.
But it's not I don't think romance is a matter of deserving things or not. I don't think that's how attraction really operates.
That's right. That's true.
And Hidaka herself comments on that multiple times. Like, why did I fall in love with this guy? She said before, like, I hate him. I can't stand him. Why am I so into him? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, at least she honest to her feeling. A bit too honest though.
Yeah, I guess. Man, that's
right.
oh no, just being right there. That still makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Did you see the omake at the end of episode chapter 45?
I didn't.
Oh, it's so cute. I'm not gonna
Really?
tell. Yeah, I'll send you a link, but I'm not gonna tell you what it is. You can just read it. It's like 3 pages or something.
Right. Yep. All right. Any closing thought on High School Girl the manga?
Haruo looks really cool with his beanie and his sweatshirt with the skull on it. That made me laugh. Also, this manga's getting pretty good at making me laugh.
Everyone has it though.
Yeah, it's true, and I think rightfully so. It looks pretty dorky.
Oh my god!
And it's also a symbol of his like betrayal of his hometown, because
Yep.
he's with the Shibuya squad instead of the Mizunokuchi Force, which are hilarious names. But I like the skull cap.
I even like how Akira, who came to the town to score him and end up like joining to the karaoke.
No, that's Makoto.
With the Makoto, not Akira. Akira is the younger sister.
Yeah,
Makoto.
we always call Akira Ono because that's how
Yep.
Haruo refers to her.
Yep. So
Yeah, the
Makoto-
karaoke scene was pretty bizarre, honestly.
and as he got Totoro, she got she got wet as well.
Yeah,
Like-
and she her brain short circuited after that.
Yeah.
It was very strange, honestly. I kind of had question marks above my head as I was reading.
All right. So now we get to the last show of this podcast, which is the hardest show to talk as well.
Yeah, although
Let-
there's the most to talk about, probably.
All right, so let's get to Lain, episode 7 and 8.
Let's all love Lain.
Wooper, how you feel about these last 2 episodes?
My God. Well, very broadly, I can tell you that I liked episode 7 more.
All right. Mm-hmm.
I liked them both quite a bit, actually. But
Yep.
episode 7 was a lot more straightforward.
Straightforward, is it? Is it
Yeah.
the word you say for Lains?
For this episode, relatively speaking, yes, I feel as though episode 7 is kind of straightforward. In fact, I think there's a lot of information provided in some very short scenes that could easily be overlooked.
Right.
So I liked episode 7 for that reason. Episode 8 was a lot more psychological,
Yeah.
I feel, and just weird. But in an enjoyable, decodable way.
All right.
Not totally bizarre and off the wall. Like I have no idea what's happening. I think there's been an episode or 2 of Lain that have been so like the show's head is so high in the clouds that I don't know what is going on. But I didn't get that feeling from either of these.
All right. So episode 7, the name is Society.
Mm-hmm.
It's about what it's about.
Have you been rewatching the episodes in preparation for?
I did.
You did.
But now when I remember, when I try to recall what's like the main plot of like that particular episodes, my mind went blank.
Yeah, it's definitely like I've been taking somewhat extensive notes as I watch. I'm trying to do a close reading of the series because
Yep.
like at this point in my life, like I'm 28 years old and anime doesn't usually blow my mind anymore. So I do have to like really focus and pay attention, and for shows like this sometimes I have to jot down notes in order to keep up with it, because it's not like I'm watching Cowboy Bebop for the first time again and I just instantly remember all of it like permanently in my memory. So anyway, I did take some notes and I can tell you what episode 7's about.
Please.
It is largely, I think, the story of 3 side characters, none of whom are Lain.
Right.
One is the businessman who is in charge of the Men in Black. Lain gets taken by the Men in Black to
see that man.
Yeah, just an office room. I thought that scene was very interestingly staged. That she goes and sees him in that room, which is completely barren. Like there's no furniture, there's just a window, and it's him with his Navi. And he asks her for help setting it up, and she's like some kind of technology savant. We don't know exactly what the deal is with that, but she fixes it, and then they have that conversation about the wired overlapping, like bleeding into reality. So he's one of the characters. The second character is the housewife.
Yep.
Who seems to have something to do with knights. Because the computer chip that she gets has their logo on it. The third character only appears in one scene. He's kind of chubby. He wears glasses and he has a red headband. Yep. He's laying down on the floor eating potato chips and hacking into the information bureau.
That guy.
Yeah. And I think that there is a moment in this. There is a fourth character actually. The guy who's like walking through the street.
Yeah, I was originally thought you was mentioning that guy. Yes.
Oh.
But
yeah. I should, because he's important. He actually plays a bigger role in the episode than the hacker guy with the glasses.
Yep.
But it is important to mention that guy, because as he's walking through the room or walking through the city with his like do-it-yourself VR headset or whatever he's wearing, and he's kind of like making his way through the wired, and he's trying to like join the knights and gain access to different parts of the web where he can get more information. He stumbles across a photograph, and when the show like gets close up on the photograph, you can see there are 3 people in it, and I think the 3 people are the housewife, the businessman, and the hacker. I think the 3 of them are all in the photo together, and I think they're somehow connected.
And do you think they are the knights?
That's the thing. I think it's hard to know, because knights, like as often as the show discusses them, it's still difficult to know exactly who they are and what their motivation is and what role they play in the story, because Lain is playing that pretty close to the vest.
Because they are more like urban legends.
Yeah, kind of.
That are real things.
They're also a bit of an activist group, I think.
All right,
but my prediction, the woman is definitely a member of Knights. I think that the hacker probably is too. I think the businessman is not aligned with those 2. I think that he is probably against them, and that Knights may be working to blend the wired and the real world together. That might be their ultimate aim. And I think he explains to Lain that he's against that. He doesn't want that to happen because he feels it's dangerous. So I feel as though those three characters have some sort of shared past, but the businessman guy kind of splintered off from the other 2. And the chubby hacker guy and the woman, the housewife, they may not even be communicating anymore. They may be kind of working for towards the same end goal, but doing it in different ways.
All right. You remember like some of the first scenes of episode 7, where there a guy and a woman, and the guy was on the laptop.
Yeah, that's the businessman. Same guy, right?
That's where I'm not sure, but maybe that's a businessman.
I'm pretty sure he's the same guy.
I'm pretty sure that the woman is the housewife. No.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
No. The woman has long hair and the housewife has short hair, right?
Well, that's it. That's the woman is on the real life, and that long hair woman is on the wire. So I think that her in the wire,
Oh, I don't think so.
because the way that the show frame them, it's like the same way they frame the housewife. When you see they frame the lower body of the woman's.
Right, that's true. There are two male characters who, like the businessman, is kind of because I assume she's like the secretary or something like that. She reminds him of an event or an appointment,
Mm-hmm.
and he's checking out her legs because she keeps crossing and uncrossing them. And then the delivery boy,
Yeah.
kind of
So,
checks out her butt as she's like walking away to get her payment or a stamp or something for the
right. Yeah.
computer chip that she has delivered to her house.
So the thing that I guess for now is that that early scene is where the knights meeting all together. So we got that that guy, that businessman guys, and that housewife woman. They was about to go to the meeting. That's just what I think. And
Interesting that they're the same character and that he was in The Wired, and that was like her avatar. Her
that's right.
her representation. That's
And that has something to do with the guy who tried to the guy with all the screen who tried to navigate into their systems. So they try to eliminate him.
Yeah, I think it's the woman who kills him because
that's right.
She says to her son, like he asks because she wants to play a game with him.
Yep.
He asks, "Are you done with work?" And she says, "Yeah, I'm finished." And then the next scene
Yep.
is that guy like, dead, having fallen off
that's
off
right.
a road or something and down a hill, a cliff.
Yep, that's right. So I'm not really sure about the hacker guy, but for the three new characters that you just mentioned, one of them I'm pretty sure that the woman, the housewife, have some like direct connection to the knight.
Yeah,
Not really sure if she is in the knight, but she is the knight, but for sure that she has some connection to the knight.
Yeah, I mean, that I don't think is in question. That's definitely true.
Yep.
But whether she's the secretary or not, that's actually now that you brought that up, and I like that theory because the show does frame her similarly, like as the object of male lust.
Yeah.
And they do have the same hair color. They both kind of have a flirty personality. Because she kind of flirts with the delivery boy, and there's also a moment in that first scene where because he's in like a very fancy office. There's like a marble pillar in there, and we only get shots of the room or of characters in the room from angles that are like either towards the door or towards him at the desk. But at the very end of that scene, we actually see the back wall, which we haven't seen in that scene up until that point. And I can't remember what it is exactly. It looks like a whole bunch of computer parts or machinery or something.
I don't remember that part either.
Okay. But that I do, because I just watched the episode like an hour ago or something, or 2 hours. And that actually makes me think that maybe that being the very last shot is the show like drawing back the curtain and showing us that scene was in The Wired. Huh.
All right.
Yeah, you might be right.
And another development we have is about Lain. That with her multiple personalities.
Right.
So now we have Lain on The Wire and Lain in the real world, and now we can see that they are two different personalities.
They are two different personalities, but there are still questions about whether she actually has multiple personalities in real life
Or not? Yes.
Yeah, or whether this personality that exists in The Wired is just an expression of another side of herself that is bleeding over into the real world, like the businessman explains to her.
Yeah.
Because there a lot of characters in the show talk about like whether the Wired is distinct from the real world or whether they're one and the same. There's a whole bunch of dialogue about that.
Yep.
So we don't know if Lain actually has multiple personalities, whether this other part of her is like just the Wired part bleeding over into the real world, or whether, I mean, it could be something even apart from those two possibilities. And I don't feel as though the show is likely to come out and say what the answer is.
Yeah. Well, for the ending of episode 8, when we see like Lain trying to erase any connections of, or that another theme that we're gonna talk about as well. But she tried to erase everything regarding to her existence.
Well, she erases her classmates' memories of her as like a peeping Tom. That's the message she gets on her Navi.
That's right. That was she did. And afterwards, when the friend apparently like or forgotten all of these, they came to her and we see like the other Lains.
Right, emerge from her body.
Yeah, that's right. Instead of her. So I think speaking of that, the show may try to tell us that there's another lens.
Right. I mean, I feel as though what's happening in that scene, it's difficult. It might even be pointless to try to
dissect. Yeah.
Well, it might be pointless to try to explain what's happening like physically in that scene, because obviously it's all like meant to represent her state of mind and her split personality. But I think what's happening is that she, as a character, it's not as though another version of herself is, literally coming out of her body. I think that she really does physically, in reality, go up to the girls and like, playfully talk to them about wanting to go to Siberia and, like what outfit she should wear and stuff. That's actually happening. But another part of her psyche is
just stuck.
Yeah, another part of her psyche is like trapped and unable to influence what's really happening. And she's thinking about, why am I doing this, or why is this other part of me doing this? Am I really myself? Can I really trust my own actions? Am I who I think I am?
Yeah.
Which also ties into the fact that the businessman in episode 7 questions her so rigorously about like family information, like her dad's birthday and stuff. And then we get that replayed kind of in episode 8. She talks to her family about that, and she's like looking to them for reassurance that she actually is their daughter. But all they do is like stare at her coldly. And then her classmates do the same thing, which ties into, the whole peeping Tom thing.
Yeah. So, again, let's speak to another main theme of Lain is identities.
Yeah, I mean, you can bring that up till you're blue in the face, but what does it actually mean? Like, what is the show's stance, or what is its statement on identity? That I am still trying to make heads or tails of. What do you think? After these 8 episodes, what does Serial Experiments Lain have to say about identity?
All right, I think it's about like Lain doesn't really know who she is, so like she's kind of struggle to establish a identity. So right. she have too many identity that she don't know which one is the real her as well.
Right.
So so that just the whole thing so far is like just her trying to find the real her. That's what I take.
Yeah, I mean I do think that's what the show is trying to drive home. I mean, first of all, I think it's a commentary on technology. But secondly, and also intertwined with that, I think that the show is trying to make the case that everyone, not just Lain, but everyone, and you can even set technology aside for this, everybody wears so many masks and like has so many faces, and our personalities are so perfect. Like we construct them, we make so many efforts to construct them that we have to like wear a bunch of different hats and adjust our personality. So we can't none of us really know who the real us is. It's impossible to know.
Yep.
Because we are like desperate to fit in some situations, and then when we're by ourselves, we act totally differently. You can't really quantify who the real you is. You can't take parts of your life and say, oh, this is me as I actually am. It's too complicated for that.
That's right. I think you know it there.
I mean, there's still five episodes to go. Lain could do some weird stuff that I'm not ready for.
Yeah, another theme that I want to discuss those is about God.
Yeah.
Because episode 8 they they talk a lot about the existence of God in the world. And one of them, the one person's one thing, something that we doesn't know yet.
You're talking about that silver blob that's always morphing into different shapes.
That's right. I'm talking about that. And he said like he's a god, but not in the real sense. He's a god in the sense that his existence is in everywhere. And we actually see that later when Lain basically sees every action of her classmate.
What do you mean? She sees every action.
She see everywhere. She sees a peeping Tom. That's why, that's because she sees a peeping Tom. She see every action of her friends. I think I remember like all two of her classmates see her in a weird way, and that her friend Arisu had to tell like no, it's not Lain. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. But the only classmate of hers that I remember her peeping on was Arisu.
Yeah,
I don't remember her seeing her other classmates.
Because that was because that what happened before, and they didn't explain the reason why the two girls was looking to Lain that way. But I think that has something to do with Lains, like the other Lains, doing the same thing with Arisu. So
yeah, but did you not say that she like saw all of her classmates?
Yeah. So so I think that's what happened, like, because she see all the thing about all the privacy thing about her classmate, that eventually like her real thing got every eye seeing to her.
I'm not quite sure what you mean.
All right.
Like the only scene, I think this is just my memory, but the only scene where we actually see Lain function as a peeping Tom is when she catches Arisu, like, you know,
playing herself.
Thinking about her this teacher at school who she's in love with.
All right. My theory.
The reason all her classmates are looking at her coldly is just because this rumor has spread that she's the one who started the rumor that Arisu loves his teacher.
All right. For me, my theory is that she's the like many of her classmates see Lains in their rooms, seeing the thing that she isn't supposed to see.
Maybe, but we don't actually see that, right?
We don't actually see that. We only see when she see Arisu.
Yeah.
And that's all goes back to her theoretically by having everyone serving at the peeping Tom to like everyone just look at her.
I guess, although I don't think peeping really means that. Peeping is like spying, kind of.
Yeah, but yeah, I know what it means, but it's just hard to say. It's just hard to say in this kind of show. But it all go back to their definition of God. Because that the club, that thing when
the
he
silver
said
thing.
to her, he said that if you regarding God as like the kind of who always exists everywhere, every single
like an
moment.
omnipresent being, someone who exists everywhere all the time.
Yeah. Would you say that Lain had that kind of power as well?
Yeah, she definitely does. That's how she's able to erase her classmates' memories. Because when she's having that conversation with the silver blob guy, he encourages her to make use of her power, and he tells her that you're like me. So she definitely has a lot of similarities to that guy.
Yeah. So can you consider her as a god in the wild?
Yeah, sort of. Yes. I think a lot
Right.
of people already do. Like the episode where Lain appears in the sky, and all the kids are like,
Yeah.
they're all like worshiping her. They got their hands up and stuff.
Right.
And there's constantly people gossiping about Lain. All the different side characters that are introduced every week. They all know who Lain is. They're all the VR guy who is dead in a ditch at the end of episode 7. He sees Lain. She she blocks his access to a certain website or something.
Yep.
So she's a god of some description. She definitely has inhuman abilities, at least when she's in the Wired.
All right. So how many episodes we got left on Lain? 5. Would be 2 more weeks.
Yep.
All right. I'm ready to watch it to the end.
Yeah, me too. I'm not gonna quit.
All right. You have any closing thought for Lanes?
Yeah, I actually there were another couple scenes that I wanted to talk about, but
Yeah.
no, this is already run long enough, man. We've passed an hour and 40 minutes. That's too long.
Yeah. Is there
Plus,
any scene that you have to talk about?
No, I don't have. I mean, I don't have to talk about any of these scenes. This is a TV show. I'm not getting paid for this.
Yeah, but
I think we got most of the important stuff.
All right.
So I'm good. Enjoying the show.
Yep. So that's come to the end of our podcast. I will say that the week 2 and 3 of all the anime of this season is quite good. I enjoy many of the shows, many of other shows as well. So try to keep tab in all of them, and especially on the 4 show that we plugging, that we do the podcasting, so that you can join us for the next podcast.
Yeah, leave a comment. What's your favorite anime from this season?
Right.
Let us know.
Yep. Because basically I'm watching about 17 to 18 shows this new seasons. So
what are you doing?
No life. No other life.
You just got back from a big trip.
Yeah, right.
It's understandable.
So yeah, chances that I also watch the show that you watch. So just say in the comment.
Cool.
All right. Thanks for now. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.